tips as a waitress. How she'd given it to me on her deathbed, making me promise to only share it with someone worthy of our family's resilience. Axel was gesturing animatedly now, clearly deep into some campaign anecdote. I caught fragments, family heirloom, and passed down for generations. He was telling my family story, claiming my history as part of his narrative. And Hazel was looking at that bracelet with awe, running her fingers over the diamonds that should have been on my wrist tonight. My shock crystallized into something harder, colder. This wasn't just a forgotten anniversary or a career prioritized over marriage. This was theft of my heirloom, my history, my dignity. Marco, I said quietly, never taking my eyes off their table, could you please call Harrison from security? Tell him I need assistance with a situation in about 10 minutes. Of course, chef. Is everything okay? It will be, I replied, setting down my champagne. It absolutely will be. As I slid off the stool, smoothing down my dress, I noticed another man seated at the far end of the bar. He kept glancing toward Axel's table, his expression darkening with each look. He was nursing what appeared to be his third whiskey, wedding ring glinting under the ambient lighting. Something about his discomfort resonated with mine. My mind raced as I approached the hostess stand, checking the reservation system. There it was, Hazel Montgomery. A quick social media search confirmed my suspicion. The man at the bar was Stephen Montgomery, Hazel's husband. The reservation had originally been in his name before Axel changed it. I felt a calm clarity wash over me as the pieces fell into place. The betrayal was even more calculated than I'd initially thought. This wasn't just an inappropriate work dinner. They hadn't even tried to be discreet, using their real names, coming to my restaurant on my anniversary. I took a deep breath and made my way toward their table, my chef's instincts taking over. In the kitchen, timing is everything. The perfect moment to remove a steak from heat, to add the final seasoning, to present the dish. This confrontation required the same precision. As I approached, Axel still hadn't noticed me. He was too engrossed in whatever lie he was spinning, one hand now covering Hazel's, the diamonds of my grandmother's bracelet catching the light between their intertwined fingers. 3 steps away and I finally caught his eye. For just a second, I saw panic flash across his face before he composed himself, plastering on that campaign-ready smile I'd grown to despise. Melody, there you are, he exclaimed too loudly. I was just telling Hazel about your restaurant. Join us. In that moment, looking at my husband pretending nothing was wrong while another woman wore my family's legacy on her wrist, something inside me hardened into diamond-like resolve. 8 years of compromises, of stepping back so he could step forward, of swallowing disappointment, it all ended tonight. I smiled, feeling more powerful with each step toward their table. Oh, I wouldn't miss this for the world, darling. Happy anniversary to us, indeed. Time seemed to slow as I approached their table, each step bringing me closer to a confrontation I never imagined having on what should have been one of the happiest nights of my life. My focus narrowed to the glittering diamonds encircling Hazel's wrist. Diamonds that held stories she couldn't possibly understand. The bracelet had first belonged to my great-grandmother Josephine, a wedding gift from her husband before he left for World War II. When he never returned, that bracelet became her lifeline. She sold 1 diamond at a time to feed her children during those desperate years, replacing each stone as she built a small dressmaking business from her kitchen table. By the time she passed it to my grandmother Eleanor, every diamond had been earned twice over. Mom always said that bracelet carried our family's tenacity in each stone. Diamond hard, diamond bright, she would whisper, running her fingers over the clasp. That's how Thompson women survive. I remembered sitting at my grandmother's vanity as a child, watching her fasten that bracelet before heading to her night shift. Eleanor had worked as a waitress at Callahan's Diner for 37 years, first to put my mother through college, then to help my parents when Dad's construction business faltered. The bracelet would catch the light as she poured coffee, the only luxury she allowed herself. Why don't you sell it? I once asked her during a particularly lean month when I overheard my parents discussing unpaid bills. We could get a new car. Eleanor had cupped my face in her hands, her eyes fierce despite her gentle touch. Melody Jane, some things are worth more than their price tag. This bracelet isn't just diamonds, it's every sacrifice, every triumph, every moment we chose courage over comfort. Someday when you understand what really matters, it'll be yours. I understood in 2008, when the Great Recession hit and my grandmother faced foreclosure on the small craftsman house my grandfather had built with his own hands. I was in culinary school then, barely making ends meet myself. She called me one evening, her voice strained but determined. "I'm pawning the bracelet tomorrow," she said simply. "Gran, no. There must be another way. I can drop out, get a full-time job." "This is exactly what it's for," she interrupted. "Your education matters. This house matters. The bracelet has saved this family before and it will again." For 9 months, the bracelet sat in a pawnshop while my grandmother worked double shifts despite her arthritis, while I catered events between classes, while we both